Testing, testing. We will get started in about 30 seconds or so. John and Larner, you guys good? Great, thanks. Okay, good evening, everyone. We'd like to welcome you on behalf of Superintendent Haller and Deputy Superintendent Dr. Lisa Lawson. We are honored to have you here tonight to talk to you about school choice. We are excited to give you a brief overview about school choice in the Brandywine School District. We have 16 great schools, very strong schools, and we're proud of the rigorous academics and the safe and nurturing environment that our schools provide families. Brandywine School District offers a wide range of programs and services to meet the needs of all of our learners. Tonight is just a brief overview. We're looking at probably about 15 minutes. And then we'll open ourselves to questions in person. We have representatives up here to answer very specific questions about programs that you may be interested in. If you are on Zoom, you may ask the questions live throughout Zoom and we'll answer them as we go along. This session is also being recorded and will be posted, and the presentation will be posted on our website following today's session. Key dates. So school choice is dictated by state law. All schools follow the same process, the rules, and these same dates throughout Delaware. Delaware law allows you to apply to a public school that is not in your feeder or even in your district. For Brandywine School District families, I strongly encourage you to check out your feeder school, but you may have interest in a program at another school for one reason or another, and we will go through what that process is if you would like to consider applying to that school. So throughout the entire state of Delaware, here are the key dates that you need to be aware of. On Monday, November 6th at 8 a.m., the choice application window opens and you may begin to apply. It is not a first come, first serve. It doesn't matter when in the window you apply. At one time it did, it does not anymore, okay? But what is important is that you apply before the window closes, and that is on January 10th, right before midnight. Make sure you put in your application. After that, the district will notify families of the invitation status, whether or not you got into the school you applied for or not, by February 29th. It is a leap year. And by Friday, March 16th of 2024, parents need to notify the district whether or not you accept an invitation if you received one. Note that for incoming kindergarten students, the open enrollment window stays open until the first day of kindergarten. How do you apply? Everything is done online in the state of Delaware through schoolchoicede.org. You can apply for up to 3 different schools in the district. It is important what order you choose. So you'll have 3 options. Please make sure you choose your top option first and your second option second. The order does make a difference. The system, when we'll talk about the lottery, when the lottery runs, it will try to give you your top choice first. You do need to be registered in Delaware or pre-registered if you're an incoming kindergarten student to be able to apply for choice. Okay, so under state law, there are 3 factors that a district will use to make a decision on an application. We'll take a look at each of these in the upcoming slides. First is good standing. Second is building capacity. And third is choice priorities. For good standing, there are 3 considerations that the student must be in good standing to be able to participate in school choice. First is academics, second is attendance, and third is behavior. These pieces are looked at when an application is submitted by the district to ensure that all 3 are in good standing. If you are applying from a different district, that would be an attachment you would add to your application to provide evidence of academics, attendance, and behavior for students. Once the lottery runs, it will take into account building capacity. It will the lottery will look at the number of available seats at each school, which is determined by first the projected enrollment for the next year at that school, and also the school capacity, the space in the building. Are there seats remaining in the building? To determine the number of invitation, it is looked at the number of seats available at each building, and also each grade level or program is considered. Also, when you submit an application, you will see an indicator for each school that will give you an idea whether or not there is anticipated space or not at that building. So you can use that in your determination whether or not you want to apply or which schools you want to apply for. And then the third factor is choice priority. When the lottery is run, priority is given to applications in this order. Note that higher priorities does not guarantee an invitation, but it does give you a better chance of receiving an invitation. So the first priority that is given to applications is to those applications where there's a sibling enrolled in the requested choice school for the current school year, and will continue to, that sibling will be at that school the following year. So if you have a child who's enrolled as a choice student at another school, and they're going to be at that school next year, that gives you priority for your next child coming up to be able to get in. The second priority that is given in the lottery is for kindergarten through 8th grade students who reside in the district and submit an application for daycare issues. So the daycare must reside in the feeder of the school in which you are applying for priority number 2 to apply. The third priority is given to students who reside in the district and are currently attending a district school and do not fall into either categories 1 or 2, except for kindergarten. Priority 4 is given to students who reside in the district but do not currently attend a district school and do not fall into categories 1 or 2. And the fifth priority is given to students who do not reside in the Brandywine School District. Once the lottery runs, invitations and wait list letters will be emailed to all applicants by February 29th. At that point, families must notify the district of the decision to accept the invitation or decline the invitation by March 16th. If you are invited to a school that is not your first choice, you will have the option to either accept or decline the invitation. Regardless, you still will automatically be placed on the wait list for all the schools above that you were not given an invitation. So if you had 2 schools on your wait list and you're rejecting your second choice that was offered to you and you were given wait lists for your first option, you remain on the wait list for the first option. You may also accept your invitation for your second choice school that you received, and you remain on the wait list for the first choice. In case the seat opens up on the first choice, we will contact you and say, yes, you accepted the choice, your second choice, but your first choice now has a seat. Do you want that, or do you want to stay at your second choice? When wait list invitations will go out, and those will remain open until the day before the first day of school that following summer. We will go through the wait list all those months from March through August, and we will continue to notify families a spot opens up when either someone declines a seat at a school who was above you in the lottery, a family who doesn't respond to an invitation saying they were accepted, or another family will accept a higher choice, which opens up a seat for another family at that school. So you can see this is a very ongoing fluid process from February through August. What happens if your child does not get an invitation to any of your choice schools? Please note that choice is not a guarantee. You are automatically enrolled into your feeder school. So please make sure you think through your planning if you don't get into a school that you're hoping to get into. Two of the most commonly asked questions regarding choice for us deals with reapplying for choice if you're currently a choice student or family, and transportation. Note that you do not have to reapply for school choice if your child is going to remain in the same building and continues to stay in good standing. So if you apply for choice, you get accepted, or you're sitting here right now and your child is currently a choice student, you do not have to reapply every year. As long as your child's staying in the same building, it will automatically roll up to the next grade. However, once that's you're done at that school building, you're transitioning into either middle school or high school, and you want a choice to a school outside your feeder middle school or feeder high school, you do have to reapply. Also note, under Delaware law, it is a condition of choice students to remain in good standing. Remember, those three criteria were academics, attendance, and behavior. Those are looked at each year by the school. And then transportation, please note that bus transportation is limited within the school's feeder pattern. Families can contact the district's transportation to see if transportation is an option and can be provided for you. But again, you would have to get to the closest bus stop in the feeder zone. We're going to look at a couple of the more popular options for programs that families are interested in. The first one we're looking at is the immersion program. We're going to look at elementary first, and then we'll talk about secondary. So we offer elementary immersion at 3 elementary schools, Claymont, Lancashire, and Maple Lane. If you reside in the feeder pattern of those 3 schools, all you have to do is notify the school when you register that you're interested in the immersion program, and you will go onto the list for immersion. If you live outside of the feeder pattern for Claymont, Lancashire, or Maple Lane, and you wish to participate in the immersion program, you need to complete a choice application on the website for the program. Note, when you apply for the school, there's going to be a couple options under the school. You can apply for general education. That's just applying for the school to sit in a regular English-only class. Or there will be a Spanish immersion program option under the school as well. You can apply for either one or both of those options. You maybe would like Spanish immersion, but if you can't get Spanish immersion, you would like to be considered for the English-only classes. And then the choice lottery will run just as it does for anyone else, and you'll be notified within the same time period as everyone else. Secondary Spanish immersion program works a little bit differently. Families do not need to apply for choice to continue in the program. Once you are in the program, you remain in the program. We will take care of any of the feeder pattern issues and choice once you're in. So if you're a current 5th grader and you wish to remain in the immersion program, we will reach out to you in the upcoming months and confirm that you wish to remain in the immersion program, which should be housed at Tally Middle School. If Tally is not your feeder pattern, we will take care of that for you. Don't worry about it. We will have you just complete one form and we will complete the choice piece that's required by law. If Tally is your feeder school anyway, then all we need to know is that you want to remain in the program and we'll schedule the classes accordingly. Next year will be the first year that the Spanish immersion program rolls up into high school. For next year and the following year only, it will be housed at Brandywine High School. After that, it's going to be housed at all three high schools. Same process will continue. If you wish to remain in the immersion program, you're going to let us know and we will help you take care of all the paperwork, but you will not need to apply for choice through the choice website because you are already in the program and you're wishing to remain in the program. The other popular program we have here is the IB program, which is housed at Tally and Mount Pleasant High School. This process works a little bit differently. The application to apply for IB is housed on the school choice website. So this is part I need to stress over and over again. Regardless of your residency, if you wish to apply for the IB program, either at Tally Middle School or Mount Pleasant High School, you will have to apply for the program through schoolchoicede.org. Even if your feeder is Tally, even if your feeder is Mount Pleasant High School, the application for the IB program is housed on that website. The nice thing about moving it to this website is if you are a choice student to the program, you don't have to complete a second application. It is one in the same. So we tried to do this to make this easier and more efficient for families. So it's just one application. If you want IB, you apply for it. If you so happen to end up being a choice student to either Tally or Mount Pleasant, it's taken care of because you applied for the program through this website. Note that seats are limited and each school has its own process and supplemental pieces to the application. So Tally has about 75 seats available each year and Mount Pleasant's 125. But there's supplemental pieces to applying. You would have to go to the school's website to see what the additional pieces are for the application process. Note that you can also be in both IB and immersion programs at Tally Middle School. We have many students who are involved in both programs and take both classes. And we'll talk more at the end about additional information about what Spanish immersion is. The IB program looks at providing students with advanced coursework. That curriculum is focused on creating global citizens and well-rounded humans that are critical thinkers and will make strong members of our society upon graduation. And then the last program we want to talk about is a service that we offer called Gifted Education. This is another opportunity for academically focused students that achieve at remarkably high academic levels. We house this program at Mount Elementary, Claymont, and PS DuPont, depending on which grade. Note that this is an update to how we handle gifted services, that all in-district kindergarten students will be screened for gifted services after registration. Out-of-district kindergarten students may contact Gifted Education Services if they would like to be screened. All students entering 1st through 8th grade are reviewed upon referral process after December. So all kindergarten students are automatically screened. Beyond kindergarten, if you want your child to be considered, there's a referral process, and all you have to do is contact Gifted Services, and the email is up there. Just like immersion and just like IB, if you're accepted into Gifted and you receive those services, we will take care of the choice piece with you. We'll walk you through that, but you're not going to do that through the choice website for Gifted. Okay. So for families who are interested in learning more about these very specific programs, the Spanish immersion program, or you want to know a little bit more what IB is, or want to know a little bit more about what gifted services are, we have specific parent sessions on these nights. So we have for middle school on November 2nd at Tally Middle School, we will have information for the Spanish immersion program. So these would be for families who are currently in elementary but rising up to middle school. You want to know what that program is going to look like because it is different in middle school than it is in elementary school. And just same here for those 8th graders, or maybe you are interested because you have a child in 6th and 7th and you want to know what it's going to look like in high school. Same night, same location, just an hour later, we'll talk to families about what the high school model for Spanish immersion will look like. For those families who are interested in knowing a little bit more about what the IB program is and what that could offer their child, we have 2 sessions. One will be for middle school students, rising middle school students, on October 25th at Tally. And then on November 8th, Mount Pleasant High School has one for rising high school students. They have actually already had one session already, so that will be their 2nd session this year. And for families who are interested in gifted services rising into middle school, we have a session at PS DuPont on Thursday, November 16th. And with that, we encourage families, if you have any questions, please reach out to the school to talk about what programs we have, how we can best support your child, how we have all sorts of pathways and programs to prepare your child for college, high wage jobs and careers. Please reach out to the principal. They'll walk you around the building. They'll give you a tour. Your child would like to have a shadow day at the school. We do those as well. So however we can best answer your questions, make you feel more comfortable or more aware of what we have to offer, please reach out and we'll happily talk to you more or show you what we have to offer. If you have questions about the choice process, the application piece of it, please reach out to Maisha Kennedy, who is also here tonight, who's our choice coordinator for the district. We have an email and a phone number. And again, if you're here in person tonight, we're here to answer those questions. We also have representatives here tonight to answer questions you have about specific programs. So we have representatives for the Spanish immersion program, all the high school pathway programs, or any questions you have about curriculum instruction. We have here with Dr. Kutch, and then we have a whole table for gifted services as well. And we have representatives from district office talk about from elementary to middle to high school. Any other questions you have for the people who are in person, we are here all night to answer whatever questions you have and make you feel more comfortable about the next steps. For those of you who are online, you can put your questions in the Zoom, or you have contacts here, reach out or attend one of the future info sessions about the programs. That is it for tonight, and we'll be here to answer your questions now. Thank you so much for coming out.
Hi, sir. I have a question. Hello. I have a question, sir. May I ask?
Yep, go ahead and put your question right in the Q&A section, right down at the bottom, and we can answer your question.
Okay. Yeah, sure.